One of the biggest gaps that we see working with clients, stakeholders and community around co-design is that often people think about co-design as the puzzle. We really like to think about co-design as one piece of the co-production puzzle. To really help understand that, in our training that we deliver and the coaching that we do, we talk about co-design as a journey that really strips back and starts with the conception and planning stage. So we talk about that as the co-planning. And we ask our participants in training, we often say, like, put your hands up if you've ever written a project plan. And 90% of the room will put their hands up. And then we say, okay, now put your hands up if you've ever co-written, co-authored a project plan with community or groups that you intend to do work alongside. And very rarely, if any, hands will get raised again. That co-planning phase, it's a critical opportunity for us to actually have those fundamental conversations at the front end around timelines, around resources, around budget, around risk, around communication and critical stakeholders, and actually having those conversations with the very communities we intend to work alongside. So we really ask people to strip it right back and start to think about co-planning as part of that first piece of the co-production puzzle. The second piece, once we've started to plan alongside the communities or groups that we want to build together with, is starting to do what we call co-discovery. It immediately sets stuff up for success because it is focused around communication, engagement and consultation before you even start to talk about design. So that means making sure community understand what it is we're here to do. There's a clear two-way communication in terms of being able to have a voice, in terms of understanding what is being built or designed. And there's a real opportunity to build strong relationships to be able to do that design work well. The challenge is often organisations talk about, well, what if community tells us they don't want to co-design, or we identify some risks that tell us maybe this isn't aligned with our priorities as an organisation or a team, and what if we waste those resources at the front end? A big piece for us is sort of saying, well, ultimately that's an investment, because what you're getting in the longer term is you're getting stronger relationships because community feel like they're being listened to. Co-design might not be the best way forward, and so that co-discovery piece is about assessing the conditions. What exists in community to be able to share the most power, give the most agency, and be able to have the strongest voice from our communities as part of that journey together. After we've moved through that co-discovery piece, then we start doing that work around co-design. So we start, whether we're working in service design, whether we're working in research and evaluation, whatever sector that might look like, that's when we start to actually co-design alongside our communities. Communities had a voice in terms of determining what that looks like and how that should unfold, and really start to take shape at the pace of community in terms of what we're building. The really exciting part for us is after we've co-designed and we've been on that journey together, there's a real critical piece that we're starting to talk about now, which is co-evaluation. It's really the opportunity for us to talk about what success looks like, who gets to determine what is good, and our people and communities having voice and agency to actually determine how we measure success. Traditionally, for so long, evaluation of community projects has often happened in isolation of the very people that have been involved in designing them. So for us, that's really exciting, and it's really important, and we use this Venn diagram infographic to be able to talk to and help our people understand that co-design is not just the puzzle, it's one piece. And it's one piece of a cycle and journey that you go on alongside community to really achieve the most strongest outcomes as you can. It's really important as part of that you remember these core principles around sharing power, that when you move into these projects, there's often an inherent imbalance of power for a combination of reasons, that you're conscious of that and you relinquish and look for opportunities to share as much as you can at each step of that journey as well. It's about identifying opportunities to build capacity and strengthen capability through each phase of that journey as well. And it's really critical for us to be prioritizing relationships. This stuff can take longer, but it's an investment in sustainability for the long term of strong outcomes for our community. And if we prioritize this co-production way of working in terms of how we think about co-design, then we really put relationships at the forefront and we really set projects up for success. This is a bit of an insight into some of our introduction to co-design training that we run at Impact Policy. We really hope it's been a valuable resource. And if you want to know more, you can come join the team. We run this session. It's a free lunch and learn, goes for 1 hour once a month. Anybody's welcome. There'll be a link here that will be able to get you to that sort of stuff to be able to come and join the team and understand more. But if you don't come and you don't have that time, hopefully you can take away some of the key messages that co-design is really part of a larger journey. If you zoom out a little bit and actually strip it back, it starts even before we start designing together. It starts very much at that beginning phase of even just planning and concept. Hopefully that's valuable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you've got any value out of this, please share it with your networks. And yeah, thank you so much.